Hey, shalom, shalom. Somebody double check to get the sound and value. You guys gonna say?
I was going to tell you about the video.
No, you know what? I can do that while we speak. I got it. It isn't the yeah. Okay, you know what? Yeah.
I already posted something.
Okay. I'm gonna put it off camera. So, you know what? Matter of fact, I haven't shared the screen yet anyway, so that's perfect. Because I was about to let my info up here right now. Hey, shalom, shalom. Give us 1 second just to get a sound check. Somebody double check the value. Okay, we good. All right. So once we pull up this video, you got it, Elder.
Salaki, brother. Just keep talking for a moment.
All right. So first of all, we're gonna say shalom. We have the real Hebrew Israelites come to you week in and week out, prophesying the return of the Most High and His heavenly Son. All praises, honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles out in New York, at Great Millstone, at GMS. Honors to all Achim around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahawah by YAHAWASHI, and truth and sincerity. We just got a couple of brothers over here. We got the Elder Malcolm, Dinawa, Benji, and Elder Damashpat, and then Banya just walked in. And Elder wanted to do a response to some matter of fact, you ready? You want to
basically this is a response to the council culture on Kanye. What it really comes down to, let me do a translation for you. All right, if anyone who's listening, just like the Bible speaks in parable, our people speaks in parables. All right, so when Kanye said he's gonna go DEFCON 3, it didn't mean he was going to commit any violence. What it meant was he's going to tell the truth.
That's right.
That's what it meant. It meant he was going to tell the truth, and it was good. And the truth is so devastating to someone who's lying. It is like DEFCON 3. All right, because you have to remember, man, we live in a society that has been completely built up upon lies. All right, and a brother said something prolific this past Sunday. Every lie has an expiration date.
That's it. Yep.
And us being us being the Israelites, and that being hid, that lie of the false social constructs which were made up, Isaiah 25:7. The false social constructs of black and white and everything in between, Hispanic, Mexican, Negro, Haitian, all these made up titles, all right, were all made up for the purpose of control. How is it that everyone that was in the Bible are still here today, but only one people on the planet have a biblical nationality? How is that?
Kind.
All right.
And if I may, DEFCON 3 don't mean an attack. And that's one of the fallacies of that whole argument that they're coming with as he tried to.
It's preposterous.
Right.
It's inflammatory.
Right. Exactly.
I was flabbergasted.
Right. I am so hurt. I cried. I lost my. Shut the fuck up. This is the definition of DEFCON 3. A defense readiness condition. It's an alert state used by the United States Armed Forces instances of hold on. See, armed forces. Basically, I had to open it up a little bit because the armed forces instances of DEFCON 2 or 3. Okay, see, they truncating it. Let me get the full definition. Increase in force readiness above the required normal readiness. DEFCON is only saying, look, y'all coming at me. Let me prepare myself for an attack. So if you attack me, I can defend myself. That's what DEFCON 3 means. It doesn't mean I'm going to attack you. Doesn't mean I'm going to strike you. I'm going to do any harm to you. It's a readiness of alert of your bullshit coming against me. And he said, y'all been attacked. If you go back to the original quote, he said, you all been coming at me. Y'all been attacking me. And y'all been trying to set me up for what the bam. And I'm letting y'all know I'm not going for it. So if y'all come at me again, I'm going to be ready to defend myself. He was basically saying, I'm defending myself. The way Jamie Lee Curtis said it, you would have thought he said, I'm going to kill, steal, beat, rob, hang.
And I'm going to go shit on your grandmother's grave.
Come on, man.
Well, my grandmother, what? The truth is only an insult to someone who's living a lie.
That's it.
And that's what it is. These people are not what they claim to be, and we have all the receipts And you know, I can't help bring it up. This reminds me of my lawsuit against the Title 4D. You know, crime family. The Title 4D crime family is the brother. What's his name? Amin Ra calls him, or Amin whatever, Cyrus Amin, whatever he calls himself. But yeah, my lawsuit against the Title 4D crime family, against that fraud. You know, the truth is so devastating that, you know, these people bend and twist their own laws once you catch them up. Give you an example. I have all the evidences of their fraud and their violations of my civil rights and all the laws that they broke in order to even enforce Title 4D, which is fraudulent. And to the point to where it's made it all the way up to a Supreme Court judge who refuses to rule on it.
That's it.
And you're supposed to have, doesn't it say somewhere in the Constitution you're supposed to have a right to expedient trial?
Yeah. Trial.
So the truth of what I've exposed is so devastating that the bank, I mean not the bank, but right, because it is going to hurt their pockets.
Yeah.
That because what it will do is it will it was unprecedented, and it will open up the floodgates, and it'll prove to everyone in America how wrong it is and how you can beat it. And that's literally what but in their own arrogance, just like with this. Yeah. What they really should have done is just shut up, because somebody's still holding that Isaiah 25:7. But hold that, but go to Isaiah 34:8, because what is done by them running their mouths, they've actually brought the controversy of Zion to the forefront in mainstream media. We truly are at the gates of the nobles, and the controversy of Zion is one of the last few scriptures, last few prophecies. That's included in those last prophecies of things that need to come out. The controversy of who Zion really is, and the evidence to who we are is overwhelming, man. Is a plethora of evidences and receipts to prove who we are. It's funny how black is black, and they want to call you this so-called black people and all this. And they want to label you that, but when the Bible labels the Jews as black, all of a sudden black don't mean black anymore, and it just don't. When whether you're reading the Jeremiah, Job, and all different Solomon, well, all these places where it's saying these things, all of a sudden, well, it doesn't mean that. Right. Actually mean black. It's metaphoric. No, you can't tell the difference between a metaphor and when it's actually an adjective to a noun or pronoun describing something. All right, but grab that Isaiah 34:8, BAHASHAM. Come on, you bring them all. All right.
This Isaiah chapter 34, verse 8, it says, "For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion."
Right, for the controversy of Zion. So this is a beautiful thing. First you get angry, you get mad, but then I realized that they really tore their ass with this.
That's right. 2 Corinthians 13:8. It said 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So what you're doing, coming against bringing up the whole Kanye, putting on Tucker Carlson, got it in Haaretz with the article that you showed from them, all from that's going over in Israel. All you're doing is bringing a light to the Israelites, and that we are the true Hebrew Israelites, and giving so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans who never even heard of our platform, you're bringing them to the platform.
They just made it go mainstream.
That's it.
All right.
Which is part of Bible prophecy, because how can you? They hate us, and all the cities will come after us if you don't put it out there.
Trying to demonize it, they made it go mainstream.
That's it.
All right.
It's like Asher. We was talking about that.
It's the same scenario as the Asher. Grab that Isaiah 25, BAHASHAM, then the gates of the nobles, right behind it.
This is Isaiah 25:7. "And he will destroy this mountain, the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations."
Go ahead and expound on it, brother.
God, so Esau last has been exposed. Esau put the covering over the nations. He called Ishmael Arabs. He called Issachar Mexicans. He called Moabites Chinese. All right, and he plays Western mindset upon the world. But the Lord is taking away those lies, man. All right, the wine that Esau forced on the world, man. Like I said, back in the second chapter. He calls his neighbors to drink that wine and become naked. Now it's time to get judged, man. You've been exposed. Like Psalms. In fact, I get it. This Psalms 82. in verse 2. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked, Selah? Defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. And that do justice to deliver from the hands of the wicked is to speak the truth, man. And I'm going to get the precept to prove it. This is Zechariah 8 and 16. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. So it is speaking his truth is actually taking down this devil, man. It's the first step to him going down. All right, exposing his lies. All right, it says Satan was loose for a little season to deceive the nations. That's the cover cast, man. He deceived you, but now he's being exposed for the liar and devil, which means deceiver that he is. You know, and it starts with this truth.
It clearly starts with this truth. And how did Jack Nicholson say in the movie, you can't handle the truth? All right. D-Mash, you got that Gates of the Noble BAHASHAM?
This is Isaiah 13 and 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountains, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go unto the gates of the nobles. I've commanded my sanctified ones. I have called my mighty ones from mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness.
Kind. So basically, whole wisdom of Solomon 5, brother. Basically, what's happening is that we're declaring who we are, and we're coming with the historical records and evidence. As I sent something to you, you can pull up. We're coming with I sent it on WhatsApp.
Okay.
We're coming with the historical records and evidences, the receipts, right? You know, and as a matter of fact, man, the number one receipt that you can get is the scriptures, man. All right, it's the most accurate history book ever written, bar none. But we got other books too. For those of you who don't, who don't want to believe.
That's one.
No,
You
just
said
sent it to you, brother.
Okay, it just came through Slack.
But we've got other books. Yeah, if you could put that up somehow.
I got you.
We have that play real quick. But we got other books that that YAHAWAH we gonna touch on, as we progress into this lesson. But you got that, brother?
Wisdom of Solomon, 5th chapter.
Yeah.
This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors.
And that's basically what we are, man. And this is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful thing. And through the Spirit, a lot of the elder brothers, have been. I see Elder Shalom, Elder Yashawam. I see Kazak on that too. Shalom, Elder. That. Hey, man, that. Hey, if you're not subscribed to the elders' channels, you're going off. I get edified by the elder every day, man.
That's it,
brother. But
2 through and info. That alone, bro.
But through the Spirit, this is always my platform. So this is right up my alley, man. This is something that I love to do. My coming into this thing is expose Esau Edom as being fraudulent and us being the true people of the Lord, man. Because once I learned that history, I ran with it. All right, I've known since I was 17 years old that the Hebrews was not white people, that they were actually so-called black people. All right. But yeah, let's just see.
A black man can say he's a Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, but once he says he's a Jew, he gets canceled.
One more time.
Give me 1 second as I stop the share screen for me so I can put it back on. All right, let me put it back on.
Come on, DJ.
Where was that at? All right, here.
A black man can say he's a Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, but once he says he's a Jew, he gets canceled.
Pause it right there. Stop. You can identify as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You can identify as anything, and the ACLU will celebrate you. And all these people, they will celebrate you and root for you and cheer for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can say that you identify as a 9-year-old little girl.
I mean, they give you
You're a whole 30-something-year-old man.
They give you a Good Morning America special.
Yeah.
You
especially if you Jake and you
Yeah.
want to put on a dress.
Oh, you an Ellen
Man.
DeGeneres.
I walked into a store to buy a T-shirt think I was buying a T-shirt, and I saw a dude from behind that I thought was a woman until he turned around, and the dude had on a long skirt. He was curvy like a woman, all right, but he had a long skirt, and he looked like a woman from the back. His hair was down past his shoulder. When he turned around, he had a whole beard with a skirt on, and and still with his penis print in his tight, and you can't help but see it because it's right in front of you, and it's like the fuck's real skinny and petite, and just so effeminate. And if the dude was actually being a man, he'd have been a handsome dude. It could have been like like they like them little skinny types for models and shit. But he looked like a woman. I was like, what the fuck? He turned around, and I was like saying, you know what? And then somebody, and I was next in line, and somebody asked for his help, so he left the register to go help them. I was so glad that I didn't have to go stand in front of him. And then I went to the beautiful Israelite chick. She was on help, but I was like, it was a relief because I didn't want to stand there and look at him. It was vexing.
It's a vexation of your soul.
But he celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He
all,
celebrated. You can be whatever you want, but the moment you call yourself a Jew, and which is a made-up term anyway.
That's right, brother.
All right, that's another made-up term, man. It's written in the Bible, but that's not really in the Bible. All right, we were reading in Promised Lands. I mean, not Promised Lands, but who was Esau, Edom? And when the guy referred to the Israelites, typically the tribe of Judah, which is what Jew really is an offshoot of.
That's what
you notice he kept calling them Judites.
That's it.
We were reading that in the book. He didn't call them Jews. He was calling them Judites.
Right. If you go put the word in Jew, the first time you see the word is going to be in the book of Esther, and it says a certain Jew. If you click on it, and this is the reason why our people falter, is because you don't go into the Hebrew. You don't go dig deep. You just go on the surface and listen to people versus being like the Church of Berea and doing your own research and actually going into it because you don't care. Because if you care, you're going to know what's going into your spirit, into your body. Just like people who take the stabby wabbies, they don't care because they follow Esau's system, man.
Well, now that they dropping, they kind of caring now.
That's right.
A lot of them are shook up.
That's
now
right.
That they doing that, point their hand in the air, look to the right, and spinning.
That's right, spinning in circles. Right, that one dude who went under the train track. That was like double.
That shit was crazy. But they all do this
and try to fight. And
that. And I think they all seeing that death angel come.
That's it. Me too. Mm-hmm. It says Yah, the Hebrew word YAHAWAH, which is
and they got Yehudi.
Exactly.
There is no O,
that's it.
And there is no E's in Hebrew.
That's it.
All right.
It is from Yahawah, Yahawah. All right. What you see right here popped up, English, so-called Judah, Yahawah. So we don't claim to be so-called Jews or Jewish because we are not. We are actually Yahawah.
Right.
And Yahawah.
And we've all extensively gone into the history, which shows, especially during the time of John Hyrcanus, after Judas and Jonathan Maccabees, the time after them, and when that portion of humanity of Edomites were forced to follow the ways follow our ways and became the first sect of people that were Jewish, that were like the Jews.
That's right.
They were pertaining to the Jews, and so these people today are cleaving on to that.
That's it.
And making that and made that into a heritage. As a matter of fact, the Jewish converts from the time of Cain Bullen, all the way up until the 12th century, they professed that they were converts. It wasn't really until the 12th century they began to say, or late in the 12th century, when they really began to say that they were the actual bloodline people.
That's right.
All right, and then which kind of makes sense was going into the late 1300s, mid 1300s. Esau started creeping back into the power, and then all throughout the 1400s, the struggles, and then by the time of the end of the 14th century, Esau had pretty much came fully back into power for the most part.
That's right.
All right, and I know he still had some cleaning up to do because it was the 1600s when they finally cleared out all the Judites from Ireland and Scotland. All right, because Ireland and Scotland still had so-called Negroes sitting on the throne. at that time.
Can I bring it out based on what you said?
Absolutely, bring it out, brother.
This is the commentary from Genesis 25 and 23. It says going into the eldest shall serve the younger. It says the offspring of Esau, the eldest, should become tributary to the prosperity of Jacob, the younger, which was verified in the times of David when the Edomites were subdued. 2 Samuel 8 and 14, and still more in the times of Hyrcanus,
Wow.
when the Edomites or the Idumeans became one people with the Jews and embraced their religion rather than to be disposed of their country, and will have a further accomplishment in the latter day.
And
So there you go. So Edomites became Jewish.
That's it.
All right. Matter of fact, I don't have that book, but I know I kept the screenshots. I have a whole slew of photos that I call the evidence folder. So let's go to the evidence folder.
This is Satan, man.
Oh, they playing with the live
No, Sex Find Pro. Ain't never seen somebody do some try to say. Yeah.
Oh, I told you my phone be getting flooded with bullshit like that.
Okay.
I don't even go on them sites like that, you know. But somehow
they ain't never happened on the live.
It just Christina sent you 5 photos.
See,
Yeah, right, and all I see is cheeks and breasts, and I don't know who Christina is. All right, I don't know used up. You can buy.
Is it?
But here we go. We go to this real quick. And if anybody want to bring something out while I hunt this down.
No, it's but just land back what you said. Now here's this that was in Genesis, correct?
That's the commentary.
That's the commentary, and they're telling you right there and linking Esau, Edom with Idumea. Read it again.
Yep, it says Esau, the offspring of Esau, the eldest, should become tributary to the posterity of Jacob, the younger, which was verified in the times of David, King David, when the Edomites were subdued by him, 2 Samuel 8 and 14, and still the more in the times of Hyrcanus, when the Edomites or Idumeans became one people with the Jews.
So if you go back and go into Herod, if you go look up the word Herod, it's going to go back and say he's the Idumean. And everyone knows the so-called Romans, okay? They are the so-called Caucasians or so-called white people, all right? And that shows you that they're the Idumeans. They're the ones that are going to be destroyed, man.
Right, and the Idumeans are the ones who hijacked Jacob's heritage. Right. The Bible prophecy, that's why they don't like to deal with prophecy. It prophesies that the land of Israel would be, given into the hand of a certain people, and that people happens to be the Edomites. But this is which means they're still around, because Psalm 63 lets you know that YAHAWASHI comes back to a world to mountains and hills, meaning governments that are ruled by Edom. But this is from the screenshot from the book from Who is Esau Edom. I didn't get the page number. I didn't realize that I didn't get that. But here's from the page that we read. I think it was around 9, if I'm not mistaken. But at the bottom, it gives you 3 references of books at that time, and we got many more that are telling you that the modern day Jewry is basically Edom. This is from the John D. Davis, A Dictionary of the Bible, 1934, page 332. Then it gives you the page number.
That's it.
This shit is so crucial. Number 2 was the Encyclopedia Judaica, Jewish Encyclopedia, 1977, volume 6. I'm sorry, the Encyclopedia Judaica, volume 6, 1971, page 378. The Jewish Encyclopedia, 1977, page 589. Reiterates the same account. So 2 Jewish accounts that was written by Jewish scholars and rabbis, both the Encyclopedia Judaica and the Jewish Encyclopedia. All right, 1971, 1977.
They're not blackballing them.
And they actually precept one another.
Come on, man.
And they ain't blackballing them either. They ain't trying to take their bank accounts. All right. And then the third one is the Jewish Encyclopedia, volume 4, volume 5, 1904, page 41. All these 4 scholarly books all identify Sarah Silverman, Michael Rappaport, Jamie Lee Curtis as Idumeans.
That's it.
All right. It says modern day Jewry, Joy Bauer from The Voice, from whatever that show is, with all the women running their mouths. All right. With the one that Whoopi Goldberg is on.
Good
all right. Barbara Walters, modern day Jewry, Walter Cronkite.
The View.
All right, The View.
How you know?
All right. Their modern day Jewry is Edom.
That's right.
All right. And that's not being anti-Shem.
That's right.
All right. That's not being anti-Shem. Why? Before pointing out what history says.
That's it.
All right. Did we have I called them a name? Have I said anything to disrespect their name? Nothing whatsoever. And I'm gonna try to reform from doing that this entire lesson. All right. Refrain. Thank you. I said that wrong. Refrain from doing this this entire lesson. We just giving you facts, man.
That's it, man.
All right.
This is Psalm 64:1 to the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And Jeremiah 17:4 lets it be known that our enemies are the hands to whom we were sold to.
That's right.
So Edom, you're our enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Regardless of what you want to say, all right, conspiracies are fucking real.
That's it.
All right. Look, when they have Oval Office meetings and they plan shit out, that's a conspiracy. For one, that in itself, look up fucking words, man.
I'm about to pull it up now.
Yeah.
Look, you
with
can
debris.
Hey, look, did not the founding fathers conspire to make America, to break away from England and make and basically steal America? Because that's exactly what they did. All right. Did they not conspire to do that? Do you not conspire to become a politician? Do you not conspire to become a police officer? All right. Do you not conspire to go to a seminary school or cemetery school and learn lies?
This is the word conspire, from the Latin conspirare, to agree, unite, plot, or literally to breathe together.
And see, but they tell you, and it just goes to show how much of a liar is, because in lawyer talk, they'll tell you that con means against.
That's right.
How can that be when the word construction kills that?
That's
Connect.
right.
Wow.
Connect. You're building
Yes,
things.
yes,
So
yes.
how the fuck does con mean against?
That's right.
You see how double and twisted the Edomite is? I had an argument with a lawyer trying to tell me the con means against, and I'm like,
See,
right.
look, just
you're
for
an
the record,
educated dummy, man.
you see com, but then you also see what? Con.
Yeah.
Com and con were both used to be with, all right, or together. And it says see con to go to tell you that it means
Because
with.
they'll tell you pros and cons.
Mhm,
And
exactly.
see that? So that's cons mean against. No, con is with. These people are they're Job 13:4. Barbara shot. Their forges the fucking lies, man. They speak with a forked tongue, man.
That's right. Here's the word con, a forward forming element meaning together or with. It is the form of com used in Latin before consonants except b, bam, 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 bam.
So the truth is, you cannot believe anything that comes out of these devils' minds, man. There was a legendary video that was done by the LA camp, man, and the leader, the elder of the camp. This video probably about 8-9 years old at this point, but he said something that I never forgot in the video. He said, "Hey, we've been listening to y'all lives for 500 years. We ain't listening to you no more."
That's right.
You know.
You got that joke for the other?
I got it.
Go ahead.
And that's a good point to the brother father. Many nations will try to pull it up in a minute.
They got the word conspire in the Hebrew.
Con.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Job 13:4. Said, "We got forters of lies. You're all physicians of no value."
Con. And that's who you are. You're Psalm 53. The wicked are strange from the womb. When they be born, they come forth speaking lies. Back in the Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bear their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Edom, they tell you all the time, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Your father nation's definition of this.
They tell you the pen is mightier than the sword, because what did they do? Not only did they take us down physically, all right, they lied to us to the point where Jacob's following his fucking ways, man, and therefore keeping us at the bottom. As Psalms 83 tells us, they want to, man, you get Psalms 2 on deck. They got Psalms 83 tells us they don't want the name of Israel to be remembered anymore, as far as it being attached to us.
Mm-hmm.
And the scriptures prophesy that there'll be a bastard, a legitimate child, all right, that's claiming Israel in Ashdod.
That's
Man.
right.
Yes, sir.
So that happened.
Lamentations 5:2. Something about our heritage
Mm-hmm.
being
Strangers.
We
strangers.
the widows, we are the fatherless.
Yeah, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot the arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
And what? And right in front of your face?
In secret at the perfect.
That's conspiring.
Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So they built the whole system. They used pen and paper. All right. They use a legalese. All right, like
and
it
violence.
says, like it says in Isaiah 10. All right, they set these righteous decrees up to take away judgment from the poor of my people.
That's right.
They set all this up so we can just be left. We can follow whatever bullshit you call it. They trap everything. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And the Lord saw them, man. And now the Lord is revealing secrets to his prophets, and you're getting exposed, like the scriptures say. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So, and that wound is starting now, man, but the real one is coming with the missiles.
That's right.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
That's right.
So you got Edomites that's been exposed to you for the longest, man. All right, the so-called white Christian Edomites that's of America.
Got one right here.
Against them fake Jews for the longest,
For
man.
a very long time, and they ain't counseling none of them.
And them fake Jews over there been talking that shit about the Edomites. They were pointing fingers at each other.
But
Hey,
for a long
you the
time.
Edomites. Don't you the Edomites.
I've been bringing
Don't
it
you the
out in
Edomites.
lessons for years,
Yes,
man. The white Christians are literally, there is a war. Esau's in his is war with themselves on many fashions, on many fronts. But there is a war between white, so-called white Christians and white Jewish people. All right, there's a war between them because because at this point, with Esau and Edom being brought back to the forefront, all right, the white Christians are claiming that they're the Anglo-Saxons and that the Jewish people are Esau, Edom.
That's right.
And vice versa.
Right, and they could
Because the in the Jewish Targums it was found, according to William Beeson's book, Edomite, the Roman Empire of the Edomite, 1853. In the Jewish Targums in the Talmud, it tells you that modern day Edom
is Jewry.
it tells you that Rome was. That Rome was Edom, the Basra of Italy. That's what it tells you. All right. So when the Lord comes back to visit Basra, He's gonna visit both the Jewish and the white Christians.
Y'all the same.
Exactly. Now this is a book by let's see if you can put that in the frame. By John Beatty, Colonel John Beatty. And this book was written in, I believe, 1947 or 1951, right after the Second World War. So I'm going to read some of the things he had to say about what was really going on. It's called the Iron Curtain, and he's talking about the Jewish population. So and now this colonel, this decorated colonel with all these degrees and all this stuff, I'll read a little bit about his background, and I'll try to be quick with it. But this is the Iron Curtain of America. It says this book is unique in that not only discusses the internal decay of the external disasters which threaten the life of our country, but diagnose the growing cancer of which they are merely the symptoms. Aggressively Christian and patriotic in his attitude, so it's only the Christians are against them. All right. The author goes behind the Iron Curtain of propaganda and censorship. I wonder who's doing that. To give his fellow citizens the first comprehensive documented account of the origin, the scope, intentions of insidious forces working from within, which are seeking to destroy America and Western Christian civilization. And you've seen that they've succeeded, because now the Christian churches accept all the alphabet stuff and everything else, when there was a time when that was unacceptable in America. All right, because just like what's his name Tate said. He said that the Muslims Islam is the only religion that actually stands by its book at this point, because Christians don't. They don't, but they never have. To be honest with you, they never gone by what the Bible says. But anyway, John Beatty, the author of Iron Curtain over America, has written collaborated on a dozen books. His texts have been used in more than 700 colleges and universities. A historical novel. All his books are pulled off the shelves now, that's for sure. Swords in the Dawn, published originally in New York and had London and Australian editions, and was adopted for statewide use of public schools of Texas. His education was an MA at University of Virginia, PhD, Columbia University, postgraduate study, University of Montpellier, France. His travel in Europe and Asia, and his 5 years with military intelligence service in World War II rounded out the background for the reading of research in 1946 and 1951, which resulted in the Iron Curtain. So he's going to give you a different perspective on history that was happening at that time.
Right.
Because all I hear is about the holidays and the, you know, my family and this, and, you know, well, be careful, brother. But yeah, you know, but you know, yeah, be careful what we say. But you know, you hear all these things, but I'm gonna read just this. This is page 167 and 168, and I'm gonna read that, and then we'll, you know, go back into the scriptures and some other things. But I have to read all his credentials. So this guy was military intelligence. He's highly educated. He's, according to by American standards, this guy would be someone that they would, you know, if this guy was a speaker at a university, they'd pay him thousands of dollars, man, thousands upon thousands of dollars just to speak, and they would all listen. All right. But I'm gonna start at the bottom paragraph of 166. All right, and it says, in addition, the serious aspect of displaced persons. Displaced persons, he's referring to the Jewish people. All right, is their disposition to cause trouble. Without exemption, informed officials interviewed by the author of an intelligence officer in 1945 advised caution and the indiscriminate admission of refugees, plenty of whom were in difficulty in their own lands for actual crimes and not for their political views.
So,
Further,
can I make a quick point, Elder?
go ahead, brother.
Can you read that first, phrase over, Papa?
It says, in addition, serious aspect of displaced persons.
A little more.
All right, is their disposition to cause trouble.
All right, and they're known for this. You go through the scriptures. This is the ultimate source of history. All right, when you read Obadiah, it talks about when we went to Babylon in captivity. The Edomites was there plotting against us then. They burned our temple while the fucking Babylonians are fucking us up. You come and fuck our temple up, man. All right, this is what you do. You're an agent of chaos.
Yep.
Point blank. Period. You tried to take down Persia to take over, man. All right. When Mordecai called those two. Damn, another conspiracy.
Another conspiracy.
And you know the movements they go through time period. There's always this secret society in the background trying to do it. That's your Edomites, man.
Yes.
All right, because in the rest of Esther, all right, when you read the rest of Esther, the two assassins that was plotting to kill the king that Mordecai caught, it tells you who set them up. It was Doeg. No, not Doeg. Who got hung on the gallows?
Haman.
It was Haman. All right. Haman set them up.
Haman Malone.
To try to take over. That's what Edom does. Edom's been trying to get this power for the longest. Now you got it. All right. And now you fucking got it. And you've been lying to the world to hold on to it, man.
Look at the condition of the world too as a result of it. It's almost uninhabitable.
That's right.
But it says, without exception, informally officials interviewed by the author as an intelligence officer in 1945 advised the caution and indiscriminate admission of refugees, plenty of whom were in difficulty in their own lands for actual crimes and not for their political views. Further light on refugees, Jewish and other, in the following period, VE Day, is furnished by Major Harold Zink, a former consultant on U.S. policy in Germany. All right, now check this out. In his book, American Military Government in Germany, Macmillan, 1947, after stating that displaced persons, now we know who those are, gave military government more trouble than any other problem, and mentioned the agitation to the end that the best German houses be cleared of their occupants and placed at the disposal of the displaced persons, especially the Jews. Professor Zink continues as follows, page 122. So he even gave you the page number. And this was an intelligence officer and a professor of the time period. All the books and movies that I've seen, it was the other way around. The Germans were picking their big houses, coming in. And now let's see what this says. Moreover, the displaced persons, we know who that is, continued their underground war with German population. All right, all these movies when they're standing up and fighting back. According to these military intelligence, they were the aggressors, armed. But yet I was taught and told that they were disarmed, and then the Germans came in. But I'm just reading what the book says. You know, this isn't my words. I'm just reading what this book, which was printed here in America. All right. Right. But it says, moreover, the displaced persons continued their underground war with the German populations, with German property looted, German lives lost, and German women raped almost every day. By the displaced persons, widespread resentment developed among the populace, especially when they could not defend themselves against firearms, which the displaced persons managed to obtain. So it seems like the only people that was disarmed in Germany were the Germans. They couldn't defend themselves. That's what this record is bearing witness to. This is in William Beattie's book. Let me give you the page. So anyone wants to go get a PDF and check. Page 167. Matter of fact, can you put that up to the camera? And maybe you could screenshot it. Let me give you the place. This right here, that second paragraph. The first and second paragraph. Let them screenshot it so they can have this evidence. You already got the name of the book. The first paragraph over here. Those two over there. Yep. Screenshot it and get it. All right. This is in that book. These are not our words. This is from written from this historian right here. This highly educated white male, so-called. All right. Who fought in World War II, was an intelligence officer. All right. So he wrote that.
He's seen it.
He put it. He's seen it firsthand. So so basically all the stories that we've seen, and Frank, they were just the complete and total victims. This is giving you a whole nother record, man. All right. And these aren't my words. All right. I'm not saying that. If you could go back up to that definition that Father of Many Nations have put in, because that definition is similar to that. They had taken most of them off the internet. I couldn't find it.
This is Father of Many Nations. Only modern citizens of the state of Israel are called Israelis. Let me make sure there was not a little bit more above that before. Yeah, he's lucky. I'm gonna put it on the highlighted for a second. It says Israeli, Israelite. In modern English, the term Israelite is usually confined to the people of ancient Israel. That's the reason why. Remember, we was on a platform singing Shema Yahshua downtown.
Yeah.
What did the one dude came up and say? He said, "Is that the Shema prayer?" He said, "You all are speaking to what?
The ancient,
the biblical Hebrew."
Right.
He called it the biblical Hebrew.
That's what I had a client.
Yes.
And that's what she referred to when I was writing in the Lashua Kadash. She said, "Oh, that's the biblical."
That's the biblical. So now, why doesn't the so-called modern Israelis call themselves going into the ancient? The scriptures, Job 8:8, which is part of the Tanakh, which is part of the, from the Torah to the Tanakh, it says, "Go to the prepare thyself for your fathers." He said, "Prepare thyself for the search of your fathers, for we are but of yesterday. Shall not they teach you?" All right. The Apocrypha, which is part of the Old Testament, says that Hebrew, anything speaking outside of Hebrew, loses its force, loses its power. So if you were so-called Orthodox, so-called Jews, and so scholarly and so forth, and this is your heritage, wouldn't you go back to the Paleo, the original, the ancient? All right. Israeli, Israelite, in modern English, the term Israelite is usually confined to the people of ancient Israel, either of the kingdom of that name or more broadly any Jew of the biblical era. And then it goes on to say, only modern citizens of the state of Israel are called Israelis. Although the term most often refers to Jewish citizens of that state, it can also refer to Arab, Muslim, or Christian citizens of Israel. So the modern term Jewish could mean any motherfucking thing. Anybody can do it, except if you are so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian. We can't identify as that. You motherfuckers right now can say, I am non-binary, I'm binary, I'm cis, I'm
you a cat.
I'm a cat. Right. It can say, look, I identify as a dog, and they got motherfuckers at school, a young 2nd grade, 3rd grader saying they identify as cat, and they're coming against the school because they don't allow them to have a kitty litter and treat them as if they're a fucking cat. It was a report on that shit not too long ago, man. So, but as soon as we say what we're saying, oh, you guys are wrong and it's hateful and it's so wrong But then you go to Job 30 and 30. My skin is black upon me and my bones are burned with heat. You go to Songs of Solomon, the first chapter. I'm black but comely, O you daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. I go to Revelations, the first chapter, and the Messiah himself was, he'll say that he had skin of woolly hair and skin of brass as it was burnt. And
read some of them.
And they said he's from the Lion of Judah. So how is he the Lion of Judah? And he identifies himself.
Right. Go. You know what? Read Hebrews 7 and 14 first. All right. Read that and then go to some of these and then straight to Jeremiah 14 and then to these physical attributes.
That's it.
Which they just want to not acknowledge and ignore as if they're not in the book of the prophets.
Is it?
All right.
The book of Hebrews 7 and 14, where it is evident that our Lord Yahawashi sprang out of Judah, of which
I do have William Beeson's book. So
of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
All right. So it's telling you, the Bible's telling you that the Lord came out of Judah. As a matter of fact, it didn't say that he came out of Mary. It said he came out of Judah. All right. It didn't say that he was immaculately conceived.
Right.
It said he came out of Judah. So how did he come out of Judah? Via Judah's nutsack. All right. That's how he came out. He bloodline is from sperm to sperm. From father to son, father to son, father to son.
Right. Why would they give Joseph's bloodline concerning the birth of Yahawashi in Matthew the first chapter if he wasn't his father, earthly father?
Right. Exactly. But that's another thing that the issues, small hats teach that they push that through your they push that through your mother and then when it comes to the Lord, they agreed on this. Well, he didn't have a father. Because you know why? Because when you remove the father and you remove the sperm line, you remove nationality and race, and all of a sudden the Lord came for everybody.
That's it.
That's what it comes be. So and that also removes the kingdom of Judah, the kingdom of Israel, the house of David. It completely eliminates. That's why they can teach that, because if it's immaculate, and then that's going to cancel out the house of David and the elect, and that's what and then all of a sudden that's that replacement bullshit. But that's not biblical. That's not scriptural. All right.
The song says that, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Kind.
This is Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are blackened to the ground, and the crown of Jerusalem is gone up. And they like to come and say, well, it's talking about the gates, because the land of Judah was burnt up. The gates also referred to as the leaders of the people. It's like that Judah, we're dark-skinned people as well, man. The scriptures are manifold. All right, it talks about it's in Jeremiah as well. It talks about the coming in and out of the gates where the heads of the people sit. So when it refers to the gates, it's talking about. Hey, Psalm said it. It said everlasting gates, talking about the Israelites.
That's right. That's was that Psalms 24. It said, "Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, the everlasting doors, for the King of glory shall come in."
That's right. That's talking about the Israelites, man. So it's letting you know our description. And now in today's society, we're actually just called black. That's an insult. We are dark.
It's very insulting.
Yeah.
All right. I wish I brought my Winston Simplified Dictionary Encyclopedic Edition 1933. Because it gives you the breakdown of black, and it's a horrible. It's very insulting to be referred to as black people. It even breaks down the fact that when black is put before something, it makes everything after it bad. When you put black before anything, you make it
so-called negative.
You make it negative, right? So when you call them black people, you're saying that they're wicked. You're saying that they're wicked people. Right. You're saying that they're ugly people. You're saying that they're dishonest people. You're saying that they're bad people. You're saying that they're evil people. All right. You right. That's what you're calling them when you say black people.
Yep.
All right. That's why they love to use that word, and they'll say black Hebrew Israelites.
Yep.
Instead of just Hebrew Israelites.
Which clearly it's not a black thing. It's 12 tribes of Israel.
Right. And so because they wrote black in English, but when it says it means that they're dark in color. All right. And then there's no such thing as someone's skin color actually being black.
That's it.
All right.
Because you would.
That was perfect side by side. That scripture and that's a monster.
This is out of the book, page 9.
What's the name of the book, brother? The Roman Empire of the Edomites. 1853 by Cambridge scholar William Beeston. All right.
Unspeakable then must our astonishment be when we perceive that this grand secret conspiracy was certainly discovered and disclosed more than 1,200 years ago, that the true answer to the question, whence came the Romans, may have been returned and even registered in writing before the birth of Hamashiach, who they call Christ, that the response proceeded neither from the Greek nor Roman, but from the despised so-called Jew.
So, and they seems that they were not like them, but then again, this was written by a white Christian in 1853. So so when we fast forward to 1951, and John Beatty, Colonel John Beatty is speaking about him. He has the same sentiment as William Beeston.
That's right.
In 1853,
Right.
these white Christians did not like these white Jews at all. They referred to them as Esau Edom. They were saying these Jewish people are Esau Edom, and now, like you said, the Jewish people are saying that the white Christians are. You're all Esau Edom.
Pointing fingers at each other, and they the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It says that the response proceeded neither from the Greek nor Roman, but from the despised Jew, that it has been preserved to us in the Jewish Targums, that it exists amidst the fables and impieties, the absurdities and the blasphemies of the Jewish Talmud.
So they shitting on the Jewish book of worship because their true book of worship is the Talmud. All right, the Bible is a front, so they can keep up that front that they're the Israelites.
And according
they're
to
real. I remember we did that on the line. We were talking to the rabbi. They used to come and try to go back and forth. They don't deal with us no more. Yeah. But you know, when he was asked, you know, it's not the what's is more important to become a rabbi, is it the Bible or the Talmud?
And
he said the Talmud.
And the thing is, the scriptures just have no other book, no other doctrine.
Isaiah 34:16. And I've seen them Talmudists sitting down in the coffee shops with the little Talmud book, writing all the, you know, in the Syrian script, you know, with adding dots and all that stuff that's not in the original at all. All right, and dealing with the Yiddish.
That's right,
which is an admixture of their German language,
this was Slavic
language,
Arabic, and
written in Hebrew characters. So they're speaking a whole nother language and using Hebrew characters. That's why they added the vowel points: the E, the O, the V, and the U. There is no E, no V, no O, or no U,
or no long strong A sound.
No, or no long or no long A sound in Hebrew. All right, the only long vowel in Hebrew is the I sound.
That's right. Ove.
Right.
Right. And that it may be comprehended in these 20 words. The Romans came from Esau, who is Edom, and Italy is the Idumea, Rome, the Basra of the Hebrew prophets.
There it is. And the Lord said he's coming back to put his foot in Basra. All right. And so Basra basically is wherever Esau Edom is. There any capital city where the Edomites are, well, that conspiracy should be called Basra.
Period.
And the Lord is going to come visit you. And he's going to come visit you soon. So we won't have to have these lessons and things like this now. But hey, we're just standing up for our heritage, standing up for the truth, man.
That's it.
All right. And YAHAWAH, we're going to do that till the Lord come back and we get laid down, because we tired of y'all asses.
Sure.
All right. We tired of y'all lies. And you know, and even though we know that Kanye is complete and total control opposition. All right, because he could have used some other. He didn't have to say DEFCON 3. He just could have said, "I'm about to tell the truth."
Right.
He had to use something that they could use, and so they twisted
the psyches of the masses.
Exactly, and they took that term and tried to make it like if he was threatening,
because it's a military term
of violence against them.
So they said they think people. Jake is very simple. They're not going to look at the term and go look it up. They're going to look at, oh, I heard that in the military. Oh, and let's associate it in an attack. They're actually, he's coming. This is so vile, so offensive.
Yeah,
so,
and they so full of shit. This is, I'm going to read that that 2 Corinthians 11:22. And that's a hot scripture right now, because it clears, it shows you that the Israelites were referred to as Hebrew Israelites. All right? Because there are other Hebrews as well. So the Israelites is how you make the distinction of what because the other Hebrews don't matter.
That's right.
All right. You got Hebrew Moabites, Hebrew Ammonites,
right.
Elam, Hebrews.
Same with Shem.
Exactly. They're all from the line of Shem. All right. But anyway, it says 2 Corinthians 11:22. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. And are they the seed of Abraham? So Abraham had 7 other seeds that were not Hebrew Israelites.
That's right.
But yet they were still Hebrews.
That's right.
Because they came out of Abram. Somebody get that Abram the Hebrew. All right, that's Genesis
14.
3 or 4.
I think it's Genesis 14.
But no,
We just went into this the other day, brother. That's how that's
right,
how you can't
because
script this.
Abraham, you can't, man. Because anybody who came out of Abraham is a Hebrew. All right. So that's why it talks about Jacob, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. Because if you're of the chosen, then you had to come out of Isaac and Jacob. The other Hebrew, those are the seeds of many. They don't matter. They don't count.
This is Genesis 14 and 13. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram, you know, his name got changed from Abram to Abraham, what they call Abraham, the Hebrew. For he dwelt in the plain of Mamre the Amorite, brother of Eshcol and brother of Anar, and these were confederate with Abraham. So the Lord calls Abraham a Hebrew here, and then goes into, and we just did a lesson the other day, and we went about over 20 or 30 scriptures that refer to the Israelites as Hebrews. From Exodus, when Pharaoh talking to us, to when the Lord started giving us the law, and the Lord himself referred to us. If your Hebrew brother goes and has this or that, or goes into captivity, you got to release them at the Lord calls us Hebrew.
Exactly.
Yahawashi, the Bible brought it out. Yahawashi came off the when not Paul off the horse and spoke in the Hebrew tongue. All through the Bible, he refers to us as Hebrew.
And not to be in it, so it's not going to write it or say it every time. You Hebrew Israelites, all right? But it's, you know, it's not going to say it every damn time.
But
that's like if you talking to a person and you say their whole name every time. Nobody's not going to do that. All right? But when they want to identify for sure who they're the whole name, you know, so and so, so and so, so and so. All right? But they're not going to say the whole name every time.
You see, the Bible says anything that's associated Hebrew 57 times. And it's all about the Israelites being the Hebrews. Every single one of them refers to us. And you can go down and you can get the precept upon precept, precept upon precept, and get the context
Which
that
is
is
something
speaking
a lot of these people do not do. And it's so funny. Even my sister-in-law sends me videos all the time of these people in the world, you know, trying to do what we do. They got now all of a sudden these Christian preachers got a reader. And they got a person on the computer pulling up the blue letter. You know, they're mimicking us. That's how you know. But you know what? You know what's that word that is the best flattery? Imitation is the best flattery. They're imitating us, but yet the spirit's not with them. So and they don't have the understanding. Right. So what they do is they watch our videos. You know, take what we say and what we do, and then they twist it. All right, because I know for a fact that there was certain what would you say, internet personalities that use terminology that only we use. And I heard a couple use terminology that only I really use. So I know that they were watching the videos. And what's her name? Lisa Cabrera was one of them. All right.
That's right. Shit is, and there's a lot of them, man. A lot of these jakes, including Kanye and so forth, they've been watching this, man. And they're now spilling a lot of our vibration over into the main masses. And it's one thing on one level, but it's also on the spiritual level. You see a lot of the basketballers now wearing the big ass beards.
Hey,
now
we noticed that in 2000, turn around about 2011, 2012. All of a sudden, all the big beard, all the baseball players. Why? Yeah. Because they were watching the videos. You gotta remember, you know, we got a brother that's on fire that came out of the professional sports.
Is it?
You know, and so that vibration moved through the sports world pretty quickly. Yeah, they all of a sudden, all these baseball players, basketball players, football players, all out of nowhere, they all started wearing their beards. Why? Because they were watching the video. So our vibration is moving upon the earth, man.
Hey, it's a bunch of police officers in our home city in Gary.
All throughout Chicago, because most police officers bald face.
Yeah, because they tell them you got to cut your beard, like you know, like just like the military,
right?
But they saying a lot of police officers are saying, "Hey, I'm an Israelite. I can't cut my beard," and they're allowed to keep their beards now, man.
Wow. Oh yeah, it's a lot of cops.
Well, because you know what? A lot of them, because they know. Hey, look, Cornelius was a centurion.
That's right.
So and you know, and I've said it before, and other brothers have said it, man. That's gonna come a day when a lot of them cops gonna put their badge down and say fuck you. And it
It's
is,
happening.
and then it's already happening. Look, I just got a right when this started. I got a thing about burnout cops and the shortage on cops in Chicago.
And it's the
I
shortest
just got it.
everywhere.
Syed just sent it to me.
It's the shortest everywhere too, because we've been going.
Across the nation.
Yes, we've been going to LA to try to get motherfuckers, but LA going to other motherfuckers trying to get motherfuckers in LA. Everybody trying to get people and they can't get people. They're quitting, man. My sister's sister is a police officer, and she tell me they always begging her and everybody else for overtime. These cops that are out there now are working 6, 7, 8, 9 days, no days off. They're working themselves thin to the bone. That's the reason why a lot of times when it come down to go chase a motherfucker, like, man, I'm tired. I'm not chasing these motherfuckers because I'm tired. Matter of fact, I was talking to her the other day. She was doing some extra work on her day off, leading a funeral procession. And she said, I'm the lead one, and I'm sitting over here. I'm tired. I don't even feel like driving no more. And she's tired. They all overworked, and there's not enough new qualifications because everybody got a motherfucking record now. And everybody's not psychological. You got to go past the psychological test. Nobody fit now.
And also the police force have soured in the eyes of the public, man.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not a cool thing to do. The eyes of the public look at them collectively as pieces of shit. They're not very trustworthy. You know, it's just like how they say 84% of the people are against the government.
Right.
You know, a huge portion of the population in America don't like police officers because including white people.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not just people of color who feel that way. That sentiment is among lots of whites too.
Yeah, and a lot of police officers are saying
so-called.
They're saying they don't like riding through the neighborhood. They go into the neighborhood and they're not even on bullshit, but everybody looking at them messed up because they police officers.
Well, because guess what? They're fellow officers. So many of them have tainted the name, you know,
and mistreated Jake for so long.
And there's so much. And now with the damn, you know, with these damn cell phones, these cameras, there's so much evidence. I mean, we could probably go to the internet right now, go to YouTube, and we could probably pull up 1,000 videos of people being brutalized by the police.
Yep.
That's it.
See the
All right.
thing,
Unfairly and unrighteously, getting shot and killed unarmed by the police.
Yeah, but when the Rodney King shit happened, you know, so-called white America wasn't shocked. You know, even though Jacob already on it.
Jake was like, that's just another day in the hood.
Exactly.
A lot of Jakes and rappers was telling you that shit in the songs, man.
Right. And he saw, you know, because they control the media, fanned it off, and you know that's just niggas being niggas, right? But then when that Rodney King shit happened, there was a slap of reality. But now the cell phones are out there. Everybody's fucking seeing it.
Cell phone, yeah.
Everybody's fucking seeing it. People when they get pulled over, they live stream themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They set the camera right in front of them.
The one dude who says, "Y'all watch him, y'all shot. Y'all watch him, y'all shot." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the people see this. Then you got Edomites, patriots. That's really they mad. They're like, this is unlawful because now it's spilled over into affecting them. You can't do this to them. They have rights.
Right.
It's not because they're concerned about us.
No, they're concerned about
it's spilling
themselves.
over to other Edomites.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, so they make these platforms on YouTube and they use examples of what they do to us and how they infringe upon our rights, man.
Yeah, and those confusing the face and not confusing the face, but speckled bird, whatever. Those speckled bird Israelites among in the Edomite community are crying out, man. You know, a lot of these so-called,
especially the ones that know that they Jake.
Yeah.
It's a lot of speckled birds know that they Jake.
Oh yeah,
at this point they know
it. That's that Sirach. It says they will complain of ungodly fathers.
And that's another. You see how the rise of the brothers in the Philippines teaching in the name of YAHAWASHI have a street teaching now.
Beautiful.
First they were all in, now they're all in the highways and byways.
Yeah.
I need to see
All
that.
right.
Ooh,
Yeah, in the Philippines,
beautiful.
you got a camp in the Philippines that goes out on the highways and byways.
Yeah,
See, this word is
So
on. It's
hey,
done.
look, man, you're right. Because first they were teaching in the church.
Right.
All right.
And in the home. Right. Right.
And they basically calling themselves speckled bird Israelite foreigners. So they know. Bring it out, brother.
This is Isaiah 44 and 24. So like, thus saith Yahweh, that Redeemer, he that formed thee from the womb. I am Yahweh that maketh all things. That stretcheth forth the heavens alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself, that frustrated the tokens of the liars and maketh diviners mad. You still got that Psalm 2 big up? That turns wise men backward and maketh their knowledge foolish. Are the Lord lived up to his word, as prophesied in 1 Corinthians. He's taking things that are not to take down things that are. All right, you got some regular, as far as the eyes of the public, we gods, man. But now, as of the public, got some regular niggas, all right, out here telling you the wisdom of the universe, man, and exposing the biggest lies this devil has told, man.
Right.
All right, the Lord has turned you back. Your knowledge is foolish. All right, we speak against your fucking your way of life that you set up, told the world this is what's right, this is what's wrong. You gotta allow sodomy. You gotta bow down to happy wife, happy life. We speak against that. We speak against that. You tell people something as simple as fluoride is okay when you're not really telling them there's two types of fluoride.
That's right.
That's potassium fluoride, and then is it sodium fluoride? It's two different types. One is naturally occurring on Earth, and the other one is a byproduct of your aluminum. And the one that you got these people consuming daily, all right, is because you lied and said that was the regular type of fluoride,
and they spraying it in the rain.
Yeah,
it come with the Marshall partner on the way here. We was listening to what's his name, Christopher Green,
Yeah.
talking about how the government is now admitting that they aim their weather weapons at people.
Yeah.
Which I know that they did to extra to Florida because DeSantis is not going along with their plans. So all that so how Florida got so fucked up, that was on purpose because they were trying to. He's defying the Biden administration, and he just came out and said that the governor of Florida also just came out and said that people from 18, he said that I think he said 80-something%, 84% or something like that. It was in the 80s, but he said 80-some% of the people from 18 to 34 that have died of heart attacks died from the COVID vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the
telling too much. Telling too much. Talk too
that's
much.
why they jacked this ass up in that hurricane and they hit them buttons and made that shit and jacked that shit up to where the Floridians had gators in their houses and sharks swimming down their streets.
The lawyer said that it was one of the worst hurricanes that Florida's
they turned it up, and then I found out about that machine that they tore around.
Mm-hmm.
You got they sit on them big ass barges and they tore that big ass machine around, and they said this is how you make a category 2 into a category 4.
Because they put
I think it's called
the
XE something.
Right, they put in extra ions and negative, positive energy. They're playing as if they're God, man.
Yeah, so then because he was like, what did he say? D-Mash, he said something about I don't know if this is real rain or the additive rain that they make.
Yeah.
And now the government has admitted to it. Because we're living in a time where the truth is coming out. Matter of fact, somebody grabbed that in Second Ezra. So let me grab this real quick. And it's Psalm 62:4, and it reads, "They consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouths, but they curse inwardly." All right. That's the MO of the so-called white man. That's what he does, man.
Okay. I'm going to show you in the background after this commercial, the cloud making machine showing you that they have technology. You don't want to believe us, believe them. All right. Since you don't want to believe us. All right. This is one of their cloud making machines right here, right now. Top 5 cloud generating machines. They have
number 5. The Taurus molecular cloud machine was invented by the Russian military and is designed to decontaminate soldiers that have been exposed to a chemical agent. It works by shooting high-pressure water into a modified MiG-21 jet engine. This mixes with chemical compounds to create a high-temperature mixture of gas and steam. This gas blows away radioactive particles and destroys infectious agents.
Wow.
A creative solution to a potential chemical attack.
Esau is motherfucking technology, man.
I think it really be beneficial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he said he right. But said he will be like God, sit on the throne, and paint himself as if he is God.
Now, once this goes into air mode, people wouldn't even know that this was man-made.
Right, and it just looks like a cloud. And then it causes rain, and then all those chemicals come down and fucks up that's why the trees all half dead. All right.
Number 4, the government of the UAE is trying new things to create rainfall across their dry
So is China doing
They came up with an idea to modify the outtake of a plane engine to literally form clouds. This is called cloud seeding, an interesting idea. However, there's not much evidence to suggest their cloud seeding program actually really works. They do create
That's Esau being PC. because it's been working. They've been cloud seeding for decades, and not only the Arab government, but the Chinese government, the American government, and a lot of these other governments around here. I'm saying, I'm not going. You all can see this in top 5. You can check it out yourself. We're not going to play all that video.
I'm gonna go back to. I'll go back to this.
Absolutely.
This is back in Isaiah 44:25. They're frustrated the tokens of the liars and making diviners mad. That turneth wise men backward.
Mm-hmm.
They get their knowledge foolish. That's why Esau hate us. That's why they try to go DEFCON 3 on us.
That's right.
For bringing out this truth, like it says in Wisdom of Solomon 2nd chapter. They hate that we are not like the regular Jacob's following their bullshit. You know, they hate that because we expose their lives.
And they hated them that rebuketh in the gate.
Mm-hmm.
We're rebuking in the gate now, and we're exposing you.
That's right. That confirmeth the word of his servant. So the Lord, the things that the prophets teach, the Lord makes them come to pass. Just his word, his counsel.
That's right.
Well, next, and performeth the counsel of his messages. And here's the biggest message that said to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judah, ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. That said to the deep, be dry, and I will dry up thy rivers.
Ooh.
So the Lord is taking this place down. Your wisdom is going down. He's raising up his elect, his Israelites.
That's right.
Ezekiel 37 style, them dry bones. Now we not only just got the flesh and the sinews, we got that breath in us, that spirit, man.
Right. And now that you said that, this is page page number is it? I ain't got so many notes written. 94, 95, and Cristobal Colon, all right, and the participation of the Jews in the Spanish and Portuguese discoveries. So why would Christopher Columbus think about it? If he was Italian, why would he be involved in the Spanish and Portuguese discoveries?
Come on, brother.
All right, come on, man. That whole Christopher Columbus is a lie. The man's name was Cristobal Colon. He was Jewish, and I actually have the book that have the receipts. All right, I have a book at home that YAHAWAH do a lesson on again. It's been years. That goes into the letters written by his son Diego Colon in a lawsuit. Communications back and forth with his lawyer. All right, in a letter, because he was trying to sue the Spanish and Portuguese crown for monies he felt he was owed for his father's discoveries that he didn't get. All right.
No, Spaniards, people think Jewish and they think of names like the fields, the Indian field and stuff like that. But when you look back in history, a lot of those so-called Jews, they had Spaniard names. And you look at the list of the slave ships, they had Lopez.
Aaron Lopez.
There's a couple of them because the Spaniards. Okay, look, those so-called Jews was Spain as well, in Russia, all right, and Britain. Who do you think funded Napoleon? Who also funded the British side? They funded both sides.
There you go, man. So real quick, it talks about Indians and Israelites from page 199 to page 101 in this book. So they know that the natives of the Americas were Israelites. So it's got, from 95, page 95, from 95, all the way to page 100. All right, so you got 5 pages basically of covering the Indians and Israelites that they know that they were Israel. But I wrote some notes on here, and I'll be quick with them, and I'm just gonna read them. All right, and basically it's giving you 17 different sources of authors that wrote over the past 350 years up till now that the natives were Israelites. All right, going all the way back to the 1600s actually. But first one is Lee Edwards Huddleston, Origins of the American Indian. Rodman, he wrote about it. James Adair, Bradshaw, Mayo, Sanders, when he wrote Ronald Sanders, the Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. Bartholomew de las Casas, all right, the destruction of the Indies. This Ezra, Simon Wiesenthal, Sail of Hope. Number 10, William Beeston. We got that one right here. Number 11, Charles Wiseman, who was Esau Edom. That's been a hot book as of late.
Yep.
Number 12, the Edomites in the history gathered from the Holy Scriptures, 1888, by Mary L. Witter. Atlantic diaspora Jews and converso crypto Jews in the age of mercantile. So that what that's telling you that, right, those Israelites that got dispersed from Portugal and Spain, all right, were crypto secret Jews,
Mhm.
Moors and Morenos. All right, that was 13. 14, Esau Edom in Jury, C.F. Park. The Arabs, by Beltran Thomas, page 339. Saudi Arabian inhabitants were originally darker. That was one of the things it told you. All right, so number 15, John Wesley Powell declares the relics and artifacts prior to Christopher Columbus to be used could not be used in 1789. All right, and he was basically coming against all the artifacts that were any artifacts that prove that these natives were Israelites. You can't put that forward. That was in 1789 when this when he did that. All right. And number 17, last one is I just lost it. Where's 17 at? Oh, The View of the Hebrews, 1825 by Ethan Smith, a letter from Thomas Jefferson and Meriwether Lewis. All right, because he in that letter he described the Hebrews as being a dark people, a melanated people, man. So just to run through those. If there's so many books and so much evidences proving what we say is true, and they just refuse to look at the receipts. They refuse to acknowledge the scriptures. They refuse to acknowledge the prophecies. But guess what? Yahweh's going to make them acknowledge it. There's really nothing that they can do about it. All right. Can we get that? We're gonna get ready to wrap it up. Can we get that Habakkuk 1 and 4, and then 2 Ezra 6, 27, 28, and then we want to go through some of the comic board scriptures.
I got Deuteronomy 33 and 29 was holding. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who's the sword of thy excellency, and thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. All right. Did you all got anyone to elders call?
Second
I
Ezra.
got have a book.
Now let's read some more of these first.
All right,
We get some of these comic board scriptures, and we'll.
All right.
Brothers been putting up them
Bangers.
them daggers.
All right. Let's see. The Wadba, deliver me from, O Lord, from evil, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. Who got the legacy of going and dropping bombs on people, running there and taking whole nations from one land to another land on slave ships, going up there killing not only those nations, but then their own people and other nations, dropping bombs on Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Yeah, and then I think about it. I met a lot of Jewish people have a lion and the shield of David, the Star of David, so they say, and then with the words "never again."
Right.
You referring to what we read about in John Beatty's book.
Mm-hmm.
So never again are you gonna shoot Germans with machine guns and rape their wives.
Exactly.
Right. Because because all the stories and all the movies, they made it seem the other way around. But according to this information from these intelligence officers, these U.S. highly decorated, high-ranking officers and historians, there was a different book. So and you got to think, man, this is a powerful book because when this book came out, it was in the early 1950s. Well, what else happened in 1951? All right, think about it. There was one other thing that happened in 1951. No, the president of Egypt. What he said, the prophecy in Obadiah.
Right, the Jews.
He said, "You left here." He said, "We will never accept you in this land. When you left here black and came back white, who are you people?" That's right. He said it on national TV, man. You all right?
This is Duwadba. He said, "Enter of Proverbs 4:14. Enter not into the paths of the wicked, and go not into the way of evil men." Kama Ashawa, Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Right, and that's why they come up with all these lies and all these
basically anti-Shem becomes a shield for your evidence.
Yes, it.
All right, it becomes a shield to where, well, I don't care about your records and what evidence that you have. You're anti-Shem,
and you're being so mean.
Anti-Shem,
you're being so violent.
Right,
you're being so hateful.
Right.
Ow.
Yeah.
All right. The Proverbs 4:15. Avoid it pass not by it, turn from it and pass away. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And that's their nature. That's the reason why this earth has been, they've been tormented to earth through force. And so they come up with a plan and they go take you down. All right. But now the Messiah is turning all the plans against them. Right.
They're against themselves. They truly are a house divided on every
I got that
platform, even within their own party. It's not just the parties against the other parties. Even the parties are divided themselves now.
God, Sirach 27:24. I've hated many things, but nothing like him, for the Lord will hate him. Whoso casteth a stone on high, casteth it on his own head, and a deceitful stroke shall make wounds. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. Mockery and reproach are from the proud, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. And everything that you're bringing against us, everything that you're trying to use, that's why you should have been just shut the fuck up. Because you know how many niggas now are looking at who love fucking Kanye? Soon as they said something about Kanye, the motherfuckers who were talking shit, all the people, the Kanyeites came on their shit talking shit. Mickey Rappaport, if you look at the comments of that he put up, calling him a dusty nigga, which is actually a fucking racist remark, motherfucker. We know what the fuck it could be when you all call a nigga dusty, bitch.
And not only that, and then Michael Rappaport, this dumbass, he a
nigga,
too.
right.
Yeah, he a whole nigga.
Right.
Straight.
But half the people on his own video was cussing his ass out.
There you go.
Stupid. And then Sarah Silverman, you talk so much shit, but you got a whole motherfucking video, a motherfucking shit in blackface. You have a whole video that you've done, a sketch that you got done in blackface, still on the motherfucking YouTube, man.
Yeah, hey, we was talking in the car about how you motherfuckers, you white people, man, y'all got mad at the fucking Little Mermaid.
Yeah, they got mad about the Targaryens in Game of Thrones. You have some blonde niggas and they got mad. Hey, well, I got news for you, so-called white people. All right. Hey, during the medieval times, you were not the ruling class people. Look at this shit. All right. And she not aging well either. She looking real bad these days, man.
So you got the nerve to talk about somebody being so-called racist and hateful, you stupid, silly ass motherfucker. Look at that shit. And you got a whole sketch of that shit is still up on and getting motherfucking views.
And this bitch was never that funny, man. She was cute with some big titties. All right. And now she not even cute. She looking bad, man.
Yeah, she was just raunchy, man. People liked it apparently. I don't know why.
She had a dirty mouth.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's all it was.
You know, when you right, she was cute with a dirty mouth and some big old breasts.
Yeah.
That'll get you a long way in America.
Yeah, now she look like a thumb after washing dishes.
Damn. yeah, because you know that's the thing. About that's some beautiful Edomite women, man. I ain't gonna sit up in front like this, but they shelf life is short, man.
That's right.
They don't have because you'll get Israelite women, man. Even some of the other women, some of the other heathen, Asian women, some of Elamite women. They look good in it when they're older. But man, the Edomite woman is rare.
Shit, they look old when they 24.
Yeah, you'll meet the Edomite, man, and she'll be 40 years old, and you'll swear she like pushing 60.
Okay. Yeah, you have those scriptures that the elder had.
They Habakkuk 1 and 4.
Habakkuk 1 and 4. Therefore, the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. When the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
Right. So wrong judgment is continue to proceed until YAHAWASHI comes back, man.
Period.
And he's coming back to break down these mountains and hills, man. All right, and set up his mountains and hills, his government. Right, which is the throne of David, man. The throne of David will be established as the top government in the earth again.
Facts.
Right, facts, and that's what's coming, and it's very close. So despite what you do to us, it's not going to change that future, that destiny, man. All right, YAHAWAH, we there to watch it come in and be a part of it. All right.
Who got the other one?
Second Ezra, did they come out?
No, I didn't come out yet.
Yeah, matter of fact, hold it. I'm gonna read this Psalm 73 that William B. Israel put up. It says Psalm 73 and 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
Yep.
They speak loftily, like Sarah Silverman, her wicked skit, but then she turned around and mad about somebody who didn't even say anything.
Right. See, I'm going
He
to
didn't
defend
say
myself.
anything derogatory at all. Basically, all he said was, "I'm going to defend myself against you," and or I'm just going to tell the truth.
And I'm a Jew too.
Con. And he did that. He may be controlled by Lisa, but I did notice something. They've been fucking with him. Yeah. And he mad. And he mad about his deal going sour with Gap and shit. Mm-hmm. And he basically said he's not gonna be controlled. They fucking up because they showing he posted the text messages. They making everybody see this shit between him and Puffy. He said he basically told Puffy, "I know you're controlled by the Jews. They trying to get you basically to manage you, to get me to calm down." He releasing all this shit, man.
There it is, man.
It turns
and
out,
then and then I could also see in his appearance, man, because he didn't have no line. He had a rough beard, like he was on the line about to read the scripture.
Yeah.
Like he was about to take his head off.
Well, he was lined up for the last several years.
He been crispy the whole time. All of a sudden, he got this lion-like, manly-like warrior beard, man.
One of the things that came up in the interview, he mentioned the Clinton calling his wife and his family and them saying, basically, we know you got influence over black people, get them to take the jab. He blew about all this shit because he got a daughter. That conscience eating his ass up, man.
Yeah.
He don't like the fact that got his daughter doing certain shit that he don't agree with. He pissed about that.
There it is, man.
And then his woman wouldn't play the harlot on him.
She's straight part of the system.
Yes,
anyway.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's his fault.
Yep.
Hey, did Snoop tell you not to make a hoe out of a housewife, man?
That's it.
Even Snoop's high ass told you that. He was he was high enough. Still had the scruples enough to tell you that, man. Right, you gonna go this run through ass bra up and pass around to all the homies, and you gonna be the one to wife up and have babies with her. You out of your damn mind?
You go see
right?
Niggas can go see pornos of your bitch on the line to this day.
Right, exactly.
Stupid.
Ride all up in her mouth that ain't yours. All right. But go ahead and get that last scripture, brother.
The second Lazarus, chapter 6 and verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. And as for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. And the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
And that's what we are, man. The truth is being declared, and they don't like it. All right.
That Isaiah 25:7, brother Philip Valor. And he will destroy in this mountain, which we're doing right now, through the power of the Lord, the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Right, and that's so good. That scripture had to come out twice. That was one of the first scriptures we brought out. Hey, but with that, man, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash,
Wa Abba Ball.
Abba Ball.
There's a clip